Make your next move with American Express Business Platinum. Earn 5 times membership rewards points on flights and prepaid hotels booked on AmexTravel.com. And with a welcome offer of 150,000 points after you spend $20,000 on purchases on the card within your first 3 months of membership, your business can soar to new heights. Terms apply. Learn more at americanexpress.com/business-platinum. Amex Business Platinum. Built for business by American Express.
Summer's here, and Nordstrom has everything you need for your best dress season ever. From beach days and weddings to weekend getaways and your everyday wardrobe. Discover stylish options under $100 from tons of your favorite brands like Mango, Skims, Princess Polly, and Madewell. It's easy too with free shipping and free returns, in-store order pickup, and more. Shop today in stores, online at Nordstrom.com, or download the Nordstrom app.
I'm Dr. Wendy Hunter, and I'm the pediatrician next door. I'm that doctor friend you call for practical advice about your kid's health. I mix the science of medicine with the reality of parenting. In this week's episode, I interviewed nutrition and wellness expert Dr. Natalie Muth. She's a pediatrician who treats obesity in kids. We talked about the role of weight loss medications in kids, and we also talked a bit about the importance of lifestyle factors like physical activity and limiting screen time as part of the plan for kids. And in this bonus episode, I include our conversation about some of the lifestyle factors that are often missed by parents, but are equally important. Here are a few other things to focus on with kids, why they work, and how you can incorporate them into your family. I'm really curious because I know that sleep has something to do with weight, but also, what is so important about sleep, and what do you recommend for a sleep structure when you're talking to a family?
Yeah, so there's kind of the structure part about sleep, having good sleep hygiene and sleep routines. So something that the American Academy of Pediatrics often says is 4 Bs. I've actually adapted it to call it the 5 Bs.
I haven't heard that. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like bath or bathe if you do a shower or bath at night, brush your teeth, read a book, and go to bed. That's the 4 Bs that the AAP has. I say, bath, brush, book, breathe, and taking, especially if it's hard to fall asleep, take 5 or 10 deep breaths, count your breaths, take those deep breaths before going to sleep. Having a routine, doesn't have to be that exact routine, but having a routine that's consistent connects the brain, it trains the brain to know oh, hey, this is now time to go to bed and go to sleep. And it makes it easier to fall asleep. No, there's no screen time, anything like that related to this routine, right? We want the screens out of the picture at least an hour before bedtime if we possibly can. That will make it easier to fall asleep and easier to stay asleep.
That's funny. I've heard a different one that was 3 steps, and it works for adults too. And it starts with bath because the warm water dilates your blood vessels and helps you cool down for sleep. The second one was massage, so something like rubbing your arms with lotion. And then the third was a relaxing activity like a book or listening to music, singing, something like that, cuddling. And that's it. And that works for adults too.
Yes. So another part about sleep, though, that gets missed all the time with kids with obesity, I have obesity clinic. I see lots of kids that get referred. And a lot of times the pediatricians are not even thinking about sleep or the fact the child is snoring, and many times has obstructive sleep apnea or has enlarged, tonsils or adenoids that are contributing to poor sleep. And that we know is related to contributing to increased weight gain, but also affects the ability to be able to manage the weight once there has been increased, and it can be a result of it. So really, if a child is snoring, that should get checked out. That's not normal, really, for a child to be snoring. Sometimes it happens and it can be, a normal variant, but it should be investigated and looked at. And I've had very many children that I've worked with who have had adenoids removed because they had enlarged adenoids cause of snoring, or they had sleep study and we found they had sleep apnea and addressed that, and they lost a significant amount, their BMI decreased, or they lost weight just from that change because that was contributing to their having metabolic disruption that was contributing to the weight gain. And then the last one we really touch on, we call it kind of social emotional wellness, but it's 2 parts. One is The social aspect and connection with people and social engagement, we know is very beneficial, and the lack of that is very detrimental. And also the mental health and well-being, really touching in on signs of or clinical conditions of depression, anxiety, disordered eating, things like that are very common, unfortunately now common across the board for adolescents, especially, but particularly common in adolescents and children that have obesity. And so really keying into their mental health and well-being, and then strategies to help improve that. There's the medication side and the clinical stuff, but also things like mindfulness teaching and breathing and meditation. Mm-hmm. It's got very strong evidence that it's very effective in helping to manage some of these mental health concerns that can very positively impact obesity as well.
Do you have any favorite meditations or apps that you recommend?
The Calm app is used a lot by a lot of people and can be, and Headspace too are two apps that people use. But to be honest with you, a lot of times we use and help teach our families breathing techniques.
Breathing techniques, yeah.
And really being mindful about breathing and taking the pause.
Yeah.
And there's one, like, for example, called Stop. And it's really like the first thing is the S is stop. Whatever's going on, like you're feeling, like notice there's something going on. Take a deep breath. Observe what we're feeling. Like my heart is racing. I'm feeling sweaty. I'm ready to yell at someone. I'm getting really ticked off. Like there's something in my gut is not right. Notice that. And then P is proceed. So stop, take a breath, observe, proceed. And doing that takes 3 seconds. It actually helps us to be able to better manage things like anxiety, things like anger. Whereas without managing those things, in many cases, we eat, right? If we're mad, we eat. If we're sad, we eat. If we're bored, we eat. So being able to use some of these other approaches to notice what we're feeling can help then redirect our next step and take away a lot of the mindless eating or eating that's unrelated to hunger or positive experiences.
Before we wrap up, I want to highlight something important. The latest guidelines from the American Academy of Pediatrics makes it clear that lifestyle counseling is not optional, it's essential. And that means talking with families about things like sleep routines, physical activity, screen time, and stress management. It's not just helpful, it's necessary. These lifestyle factors play a huge role in a child's ability to maintain a healthy weight, not just today, but for the rest of their life. Habits formed in childhood and adolescence set the foundation for adult health. And when we treat weight concerns with this whole child approach, it's not about dieting or shame. It's about helping kids feel strong and confident and supported. If you want a deep dive into this topic, I highly recommend the book Family Fit Plan by Dr. Natalie Muth. It's filled with practical tools to help build healthy habits as a family without any guilt. Thanks for listening to this bonus episode, and don't forget to follow the show so you don't miss what's coming next. For more from the Pediatrician Next Door, find me on the web at pediatriciannextdoorpodcast.com. If you've got a question about the weird things kids do, send an email to hello@pediatriciannextdoorpodcast.com for a chance to hear your voice on the show. I'm Dr. Wendy Hunter, and I'm the Pediatrician Next Door. This show is produced by Red Rock Music. Make sure to subscribe and leave a review wherever it is you're listening. I'll be back next time with more.